Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President and CEO of Lion Brand Yarn Company, David Blumenthal.
Good afternoon. That's pretty good. For those who haven't had lunch yet, it's pretty good. Welcome again to our annual fashion show at CHA. On behalf of the Lion Brand family, we're really excited this year to highlight the show, and as you can see by the programs, it's titled You Can Do It. Our creative director, Adina Klein, has done a phenomenal job of seeing the original designs made out of Lion Brand yarns that you feature in your stores, and I think you'll be amazed by the actual aspect that you, in fact, can do it. So with that, I'd like to introduce to you someone that many of you know because she's been coming to these shows for more than 20 years. America's favorite crocheter and Lion Brand's biggest fan, Vanna White.
Thank you. Hi, folks. How are you? Good. It's so good to be here, and we have such a great show to show you. We have new yarn, which is always fun, and we have old yarn that looks like new yarn, and just it's very inspirational. I just saw the last show, and you're about to see all the things you can do, and very easily. Before we get started, I want to thank all of you for being part of the Lion Brand family. What we all have created together is we've donated to St. Jude, which I'm sure most of you know we are a part of. And to date, we have Lion Brand has donated more than $1.5 million to St. Jude. So, and that's all because of your hard work and your dedication to believing in our product. So it feels good. And without further ado, why don't we get on with this amazing show?
Sounds great. Have a good one.
All right, let's bring it on.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hi, Vanna.
Hi, how are you?
So you know when you learn to knit or you learn to crochet, you learn one stitch and you make a teeny little square called a swatch?
Yes.
Well, we tried to take that idea of a simple stitch and a simple square or a simple rectangle and make incredible garments. So that's what this show is all about.
Wow.
For example, this hat is 2 squares, garter stitch, the first stitch you learn, knitted, sewn together in 2 different directions. And what's more basic than a granny square, done in 8 different colorways of your fabulous Vanna's palettes with some coordinating Vanna's Choice solids. And the garter stitch scarf, which is hidden underneath, that's what everybody learns to do first. You can even make a garment out of rectangles. This vest is actually 3 rectangles sewn together, the back and the 2 fronts. The cowl is your fabulous self-striping Vanna's tapestry, and I know you love that piece underneath.
I do.
That's, of course, Vanna's glamour, 2 squares. I'm going to say squares a lot in the next few minutes, sewn together. This is a square with, sorry, I apologize, it's a rectangle. It's a rectangle. I'm flipping things up a bit, of homespun with a hole in it for the neck, and you can wear it a whole bunch of different ways. It's made in self-striping homespun.
Great design.
Super, super easy. Here's homespun again in a fabulous group of colors, a beginner Afghan. We're just changing colors for a striping effect. And basically the same tunic you saw, shell you saw the last time in Vanna's Glamour.
It's so
it's
pretty.
Just, if you're practicing a lace stitch, just make a bigger square than you normally would, sew up the side seams, and leave some space for your armholes, and you have a garment.
So easy.
So easy. You modeled this ripple stitch poncho for us when we went to your house this spring. This is combining several of your yarns, Vanna's Glamour, Vanna's Choice, and Vanna's Tapestry. So if all you know how to do is make an Afghan or a scarf, you can make a show-stopping poncho. You can do it, as the program says. Here we have an ombre effect tunic made out of several colors. I think it's 6 in homespun and a neutral palette. And we decided to turn granny squares into wristers so you can Instagram your scarfies even in the cold weather. And the hat is made in our new Zaps yarn. I know you love this garment, Vanna.
I do.
It's, once again, I hate to be a bore, but 2 rectangles made in garter stitch in Modern Baby. My office is in love with Modern Baby for adult garments. So it's not just for babies, or maybe there's a baby in all of us. And the cowl is made in a color block design of gold leaf. Again, rectangles. I'm really excited about these pieces because they're in our brand new yarn Textures. It's a self-striping boucle yarn. The top, once again, hate to be a drag, but it's 2 rectangles sewn together on the side in basic knit stitch and purl stitch.
In all beautiful colors.
That's one colorway right there. No color changing necessary. Our second section of our show is called Rectangles Sewn Together. So here we've taken many different sizes of Hometown USA, our extremely popular yarn, and we've sewn them together to make one big square, otherwise known as an Afghan. And Kitchen Cotton made this lovely runway-inspired top. Vanna, you have a new yarn.
I'm so excited.
I know when you love a new yarn. It's called Vanna's Compliments, which are the colors, the stripes in this ripple throw, which is meant to complement Vanna's Choice. So it's exactly the same gauge, but it's a brushed version of your original yarn, so you can combine color and texture.
And it's extremely soft.
It is so soft and lightweight. It's great for garments and accessories as well as Afghans. Here we have Made in America Country, a beginner, again, Afghan, just stripes of country. And here's squares on squares on squares. These are squares knitted together, made into large rectangles, which we've sewn together to make a pullover. None of the projects you're seeing today are any more difficult than intermediate, but most of them are easy and easy plus. The shawl this woman is wearing is actually the Vanna's Choice and Vanna's Palettes version of the shawl you have on. Yours is in Bonbons and Vanna's Glamour. And not to hit a nail on the head, but this jacket is once again a bunch of rectangles, very little shaping, sewn together.
This one's sparkly.
This one's great. We love this. This is in a metallic version of so popular Woolies Thick and Quick, and it's a mesh stitch. And can you just hold your arms out for me see what I'm saying? These are squares. They are squares that are just sewn together with rectangles for sleeves. The hat is made with pelt and gold leaf. I taught my colleague Keith to knit yesterday, and he literally, well, maybe not literally, but if he had a little time, he could make this sweater. It's just knit stitch and purl stitch. And once again, I know, yawn, rectangles, minimal shaping, so easy and so great. This is in Woolies.
This looks cozy.
This is great and cozy. It's a poncho made in your fabulous Vanna's Choice. All of these patterns are available for free on our website, lionbrand.com, and if they're not up already, most of them are. They'll be all done by March 15th. Who doesn't love log cabins? I'm obsessed with log cabins. This log cabin Afghan is made in Heartland. So it's squares that are sewn together to make a big rectangle, and these mitered squares are picked up and knit together to make this show-stopping piece in self-striping amazing. Okay, we're in section number 3, which is called A Little Bit of Technique. So I would be lying to say that's a perfect square. It's almost entirely a square with a little bit of shaping at the neck. We call this the $1 million poncho because everyone who puts it on looks like $1 million. And you may notice that there are LED lights in these wristers because we want people to be able to post their scarfies after dark. Here, just a basic cable on what's more or less, yes, again, I hate to say it, a rectangle in landscapes, one of our fabulous self-striping yarns. So all you have to know is a couple stitches and all that show-stopping color work is done for you in the yarn. We introduced 24 coordinating solids this season. I love this sweater. This is in your Vanna's tapestry. Once again, I know, boring. 2 squares, knit in 2 different directions to make the striping effect. And that hat is basically a tube, which you could call a rectangle if you wanted to, of homespun. It's a beginner project.
This looks warm.
This is fabulous. It's my favorite new color that we're introducing this season of homespun thick and quick. We called it tartan. And cowls are so popular, we decided to make a dramatic cowl and attach it to the sweater so you wouldn't lose it. And I keep dropping my program. Patchwork is so popular right now. So we decided to take all our Made in American yarns and combine them in sort of a stitch sampler. Again, boring, I'm sorry, squares, rectangles, to make this oversized pullover. It uses country, homespun thick and quick, heartland thick and quick, and I think that's it. Again, looks complicated, but isn't.
Look at this embellishment.
This embellishment is a great way to take a very simple stitch like stockinette, what every beginner learns. Even Keith knows how to do it, and zhuzh it up. We've zhuzhed it up with little flowers, rhinestones, and our glitter spun, which is a metallic thread. So there's a way to make the easy look complicated. If you look at this one, this is a rectangle on its side. It's a ripple stitch, basically 2 ripple stitch scarves that we've turned into a crop jacket. And we made this fun bag out of super popular fettuccine.
So cute.
So cute. And our leg warmers are made out of Vanna's Glamour, which I'm wearing. This is a rectangle, a tubular rectangle, but a rectangle. We put this project up on our website, and already we've had so many downloads of it. It's in your gorgeous sapphire of Vanna's choice, and it's just an oversized lace stitch that's a poncho.
It's beautiful. It looks like my grandmother taught me how to crochet, and she taught me the same kind of pattern it looks like.
Yeah, but it looks modern. It's not your grandmother's
Yes.
crochet.
No, it's not.
No offense to your grandmother. Our next section of our show is called A Little Bit of Technique, as shown by these cables and seed stitch in this scarf vest, which again is a rectangle. We just put buttons down the middle to make it a garment. And while this Fair Isle tam looks complicated, it's actually easy, and we use it to teach beginners how to do color work at our studio. Vanna, here's your fabulous compliments again in a striping poncho. Often people have a problem with poncho getting to their purse, but we've made little teeny sleeves. Can you show how there's little sleeves in here? So it solves that problem. And the cowl is made out of our brand new macaroni, hot off the press.
It is.
Both
And
these yarns.
You can just see how soft it is
Feel it,
by
feel
looking
it,
at it.
feel it.
So
light as a
soft.
feather. Here we have various interpretations of rectangles. This dramatic scarf is made in beloved fisherman wool. The hat uses our fur yarn pelt and heartland, as does this pullover. Again, a bunch of rectangles configured to make a garment. I love designing using Unique, which is our fabulous self-striping yarn, and Vanna's Choice. This entrelac pattern might be a little challenging, but since it's just 2 rectangles, it's a great way to practice a new technique. And then we used Vanna's Choice for the solid back and sleeves. So again, rectangles and an arm knit cowl. Here we have a Heartland Afghan. It's a stitch sampler showcasing many of our new colors. And this top is just the knit stitch and the purl stitch. Even Keith can make this, and he learned how to knit yesterday. I wouldn't advise him to wear it, but he can make it. Once again, I'm really fond of stitch samplers. This is homespun, a bunch of different stitches where you can practice on small pieces and then sew it together and create a show-stopping Afghan. Because let's face it, an Afghan is just a huge rectangle. Again, hate to be a bore, 3 rectangles. This is Fair Isle Stitch in Beloved Woolies. So if you're practicing your color work, you can just make these basic shapes, learn the stitch, get comfortable with it, and then seam it together, and you have a show-stopping fashionable garment. I'd be lying if I said this was a perfect square or rectangle. There's a little shaping, let's face it, but it's in Amazing, which is our self-striping yarn, one of our many, and so it looks like there's so much work involved in it, and it is, again, just stockinette stitch with a little shaping on the side. And again, we have a seamed rectangular poncho made out of pelt. Our last part of our show is called, to take a phrase from my boss, the achievable wow. So these are our showstoppers that are, again, all easy plus and intermediate projects. This is just granny squares, Vanna, in your Vanna's Glamour.
They've come a long way.
They've come a long way. And the turban is a rectangle, again, so boring, I keep saying it, sewn together. Here we've taken circles and turned them into a rectangular blanket. We've used Unique and Vanna's Choice. And arm knitting is here to stay. This cowl was made in about 15 minutes using 3 strands of Woolies Thick and Quick. Shira Blumenthal is our resident professor of arm knitology. She has a PhD in arm knitting, and I'm sure she'd be happy to teach any of you after the show. Here we have a showstopper. It's an oversized sweater made out of landscapes, and the hat is one of our 24 new solids in landscapes.
This is one of my favorites.
I know, it's so great. Once again, modern baby in an adult garment is so great and so modern looking. And these are 2 different qualities of bonbons. The wristers are a acrylic blend, and this easy garter stitch beginner scarf is made with one of our cotton bonbons.
Oh.
I love this one too. I love them all. They're like
Beautiful.
babies to me.
Yes.
This one is ice cream. It's a new baby yarn, but we made an adult-sized Afghan. We also have a baby-sized version on our website. It's a great yarn. There's a ton of yardage, and again, the work is all done for you in the yarn.
I love the name, ice cream.
Ice cream, and you want to eat it.
You do.
And again, here's a fun stitch sampler in Modern Baby, a cardigan. And for those of you who want to do a little less work, we have a black version instead of a white version as a cowl. And you can do it. You can do all these pieces. You just need the desire and the time.
Look at these colors.
I love this Afghan. This Afghan, I took a picture of a mural I saw in the East Village, and I asked one of my designers to interpret it. It's stockinette stitch squares in our new colors of Unique that we're putting out this season, and your fabulous palettes of Vanna's Choice. And by palettes, I mean skeins of Vanna's Choice.
It's almost glow in the dark.
It is, but in a good way.
Of course.
And just to prove that you can do it, we brought out Rosie in an Afghan. You can do it. You can make any of these projects. Your customers can make these projects. They're not difficult. Lionbrand.com has over 250 YouTube videos to give you all the tools you need to make these fabulous pieces.
Let's give these girls a big round of applause.
Yes.
Great job, girls. Beautiful yarns, beautiful designs to all the designers out there and all the crocheters and knitters that made it all happen.
That's a wow. I only want wows.
Wow.
I have a pillow in my office that the design department gave me a few years ago for my birthday, and it says wow on it because they know I only want wows. This was a wow. Congrats.
Great job.
Okay.
Yes.
So again, we have these patterns on our site. All of them will be on our site by March 15th, lionbrand.com. Thanks for coming. Have a great day, a great show, and we'll see you next year.
Thanks, everyone.